My name is Sharon Rogers, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wells, Maine. And every Friday at 7:30, I like to come to you with a live video showing you some sort of project that I'm working on. I haven't fully worked out what tonight's is going to be, but that's going to be the fun of it. We'll just be surprised together. Do you know what I'm going to be using? Oh, look at that. I turned off the volume. And it's back on. Okay. Should be off now. Maybe? No. What's going on? Okay. Maybe now? Yeah, I think that's good. I don't know what went on with that. That was really, really weird. I had it turned off, and then it jumped back on, and then I turned it off, and it jumped back on, and now I think I've got it. We'll see. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I do know what I'm going to be using tonight, and that's the Beautiful Motifs bundle. And I'm going to show it to you in just a moment. I have it on my desk. But it is part of the Beautiful Gallery suite of products. And as many of you know, right now there is a suite sale going right on. It's Stampin' Up! During the month of June. And you can buy one suite and get the second at half off, or you can buy in this case, there are two bundles that are associated with this suite. So you could buy one bundle and get the second, less expensive one off at 50% off. Or you can buy a bundle and get the designer series paper for 50% off. So it's whatever mix and match you want to do. But the first item, well, when Stampin' Up! Calculates it, it will match a higher priced suite product value with a lower priced one, and the lower priced one is the 50% off. But anyways, I've saved a bunch of money because there were lots of sweet products that I liked. I don't know about you, but anyway, I'm going to turn down so that we can get started. All right, let me just see if I can get this in the holder without making too much of a mess. Okay, we've got something showing over there. That's going to be good enough. So here we have, this is the Beautiful Motifs dies. And when this first came out, when the new catalog debuted, I didn't really think I needed this. So I passed on it. And then I was seeing all the beautiful things that people were designing with its sister bundle, which is, whoops, not that one. I've got it because I've got a class tomorrow, all packed. So Gallery Blooms. And this is just really, really, really pretty. I'm having a difficult time not designing with this. It's all I want to design with. It's really pretty. Anyway, I did decide that, okay, yes, I do need it. And this is a great die set just on its own, especially if you just want to add some greenery or some flowers, something maybe in, you know, that's just added to your project to embellish it. And this nice big fern right here does a good job of that. And so does this, which I think is Queen Anne's lace, but I'm not exactly sure. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know flowers and don't really want to. So I just use what I like. Has some of these ornate pieces as well. And then it has this particular piece, which we're going to use tonight, that does partial cutting. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to bring in some of my Beautiful Gallery Designer Series paper. And this pack's not open, but here are some of the designs from the one that I do have open. Not all of the designs. This is the one I'm going to use tonight, I think. And this is great because you can color those flowers anything you want, or you can just leave them the way they are. And then there's this one, and this one, and this one. I think this one, so next month I'm going to be using the Kintsugo Inspirations Suite. And that's the Japanese art of making, basically piecing something back together without losing the fact that it was broken in the first place. It's like it's a beautiful concept, and I'll explain more about that when I start playing with it a little bit more. But I think these look like bamboo trees, and I don't know what kind of leaves bamboo trees have, but these, just the way they're drawn, sort of remind me of Japanese art, and so I may use this with that bundle as well. But for tonight, we're just going to use this piece right here, and I'm going to bring it closer to you, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. You can see that there's a bit of a design in there. It's a little bit of a damask design, sort of like on this stamp set, and sort of like the embossing folder that's part of the suite that has that design in it. We're going to cut this down because we're going to make a card out of it. And so in order to cut it down, I need my paper trimmer. And I think I'm going to cut this down to 3 and, let me see how tall these guys are because I want to make sure they stay on it. So yeah, that's like 4 1/4. Okay, so we're going to be fine. Let's go with 3 3/4 wide, and then 5 inches long. And I'm gonna have to go up here because that's where the 5-inch mark is. I'm trying to get used to using my Stampin' Up! Trimmer so that the Stampin' Up! Logo can be read at the bottom, and then you'd want to use it at the top, but I have a hard time doing that because I don't know, it just seems backwards to me based on another trimmer that we used to have. Okay, so now I have this piece, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this one that I was just talking about in, and we're going to die cut that. And I'm going to show you how it gives a partial die cut, which apparently is all the rage because a few demonstrators have posted some examples of where you see that. Another thing that's all the rage is line art. And if you've seen the Along These Lines stamp set, it fits right in there. I have that one too. I like that one a lot. That's the one I used with that's the one that I used with this card right here. That dolphin is that line art that I was talking about. All right, so I'm gonna angle this. Just pass that on through. So thank you everybody for joining me tonight. I know you could be doing lots of things on a Friday. I hope you're having fun crafting as you watch along with me. So you can see that this didn't cut anything out. It just gives these little loose leaves here that you can kind of fold up so that it has a little bit more of a dimensional look on the back. So just like that. All right. Oh, I haven't even thought about what kind of card base I'm going to use. I think this blue in here is cloud cover. But I don't know that I want to use cloud cover. I either want Secret Sea or cloud cover, probably. I'll bring them both over. I've been running around like crazy today, so I didn't really have a lot of stuff ready. So thanks for bearing with me. All right, so that is cloud cover on. It looks like there's a basic beige base to that, maybe. So definitely too light for that. If I bring in my Secret Sea, which is probably one of my favorite colors, we've got that. look going on. But let's see what else we do first. So let's look at some of the other possibilities that I can do here. I can bring in this die, and this is that Queen Anne's lace, I think. So, and I see I've got a little bit of white still left in there. It'd be great if I had my brush handy, but I don't. It's packed away too, and I don't want to forget it tomorrow, so. All right, so let's go ahead and bring back our embossing machine, die cutting machine, because we are gonna fully die cut this time. And I'm gonna cut this flower out of a piece of basic white. And then I'm going to cut the fern out of a piece of mossy meadow. See how I'm getting that to fit nicely? Just tearing it off camera. All right, so we have those pieces right there. You can die cut those both at once. All right, let's see how this works. Get some of the extras out. And there we go. And there's all sorts of these little pieces in here that you'll just have to knock out. And again, my take your pick tool is packed and it's not going to be unpacked. I know myself. I'll just take out these, just poke out these little pieces with the ends of the scissors. The die brush would work here. What do you guys use? Do you usually use the take your pick tool, the die brush? Do you just do what I'm doing and just improvise with a pen or a pin or the scissors tip? What do you most often do? Honestly, I do what I can get my hands on the fastest. And that's typically not a tool made for it. But one of these days, I'll have my tools right at fingers length. All right, so I've got a couple more of these, and what I really need to do is rub my die or run my die through with wax paper a couple times, and that will help release the paper from the die and also from itself. So that's a good tip that I need to remind myself of more often than not. All right, so let's bring these pieces back in. Let's see how the colors go. Well, it's kind of, I like how when I place this mossy meadow on the cloud cover, it almost makes it look a little bit more blue. It doesn't make it look blue, but it definitely gives a bluer tone. And so I can add that up there. I'm losing a little bit of this flower though when I do that. So let's see if we can make some adjustments. Maybe we go that way. And then we have, yeah, we can see all of them. Yeah, that's all right. Probably should have done what? That's right, probably should have used my adhesive sheet. Would have made these a whole lot easier to stick down. I don't mind glue. You just have to be very light-handed with the glue. Just stick to where the larger dots are, larger surface areas are. It'll be fine. You don't have to put it on every single one. All right, so let's hold that down for just a second. And I didn't put too much up here because I like it free like that. I like it being, you know, popping off the page a little bit. Now for this one, we can color this. So I was thinking maybe we'd, you know, put a green stem because, you know, flowers generally have green stems. And then maybe we could bring some other colors in. I'm gonna bring in I've got some new daubers. Let's bring them in. Wonder where my old ones are. I'm gonna bring in the Calypso Coral because I know that these colors all go with Calypso Coral and maybe even Petal Pink because they're in some of the prints. So let's do that. I'm going to use this scrap right here. Let's get some of the ink off there. So we're just going to brush lightly here on the floral portions. And I'm going to take the tips and I'm going to make the tips even darker. Make them really stand out. Just the tips. All right. And then let's go ahead and bring in our Mossy Meadow and do somewhat of the same thing. And oh, Mossy Meadow is one of those colors that I think I packed away. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Goodness gracious. That's projects. Hold on, I got a solution. I'm just going to get out my Stampin' Spots. Because I know I have a bunch of Stampin' Spots in here. And actually this one right here is the Mossy Meadow. So my spots to the rescue. Except for this one seems to be mostly dry. Oh, nope, it's got stuff on there. And I'm just gonna rub this lightly on this piece. And it doesn't have to be full coverage. You can pounce, rub, whatever. Just a very soft color right there. And so then we can put this on. Ooh, that really pops nicely, doesn't it? Ooh, I like that. I like that. I am going to make my leaves a little bit darker down here at the base, I think. All right. Let's glue this on. Wasn't quite sure how I was going to like all these colors together, but I really do like how the Calypso Coral brightens it up. But it's still toned down enough so that it's not like a, you know, a bright pink or a glowing yellow or purple. It's really in your face. You could add more of these if you want. You could build a whole bouquet. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these leaves up a little bit. Just use either my finger or the back of the scissors to just bring that out a little bit. Make it a little bit more noticeable. Pretty. All right, what base should we put this on? If I bring in a Secret C, that I didn't think I was gonna like that. I kind of do like that. I think I like it better than what Mossy Meadow would look like. Let's see. I'm all about experimenting tonight, I guess. Let's see how the Mossy Meadow would look. Yeah, I don't like it as much. I really like the Secret C. So let's go ahead and get our paper trimmer back out. We'll cut a card layer, a card base of Secret C. There we go. And we're going to have that just just like that. Now we could put this up on dimensionals. We could get out another piece of maybe basic beige. Could get out some metallic. All sorts of options here. Let's see if I put this basic beige. No, I don't like the light under the light. Too light. I wonder if I would like it like this. Nope, I'm just gonna stick with this. And I'm gonna just keep it right on, flat on the page. It was too bad that I really did want to use this because this is pretty, but I really like the other side of this too. Good thing that this design, there are 4 of in a package, and I have at least 2 packages. So that's good. This paper really is gorgeous. All right, so there we have that. And let's bring in some of this basic beige ribbon. We could color it with our blends if we wanted to. I'm not gonna tonight. I think I'm gonna use the basic beige ribbon to bring out that basic beige tone in the DSP. Just have something that looks like that. Just a pretty, simple, straightforward card. And we'll just adhere that with probably a glue dot. Happen to have some handy. Ooh, these are the nice big ones left over from some sort of paper pumpkin. There we go. Here we have that right there. Now, if you wanted to put a sentiment on the front, you could. I would probably, depends on what the sentiment is, but you could stamp one right over here. You could do a little, if it's just like a little hello, which I think is in this, yes. There's a little hello. You could stamp it up here. I wonder where it would look best. So just a little hello down here. I think down here, it kind of balances what's up there. What color should we put the hello in? I'm thinking either Secret Sea or Calypso. What do you think? Who's going to weigh in and tell me which color I should stamp the hello in? While you're thinking about that or telling me, and so far Sheila's the only one that said hello to me, so Sheila will probably tell me what she wants, and that's what I will go with because just need an answer. What color, Calypso Coral or Secret Sea, do we want our sentiment in? I'll cut the inside of the card. And I didn't quite cut the inside of the card, so here we go. There's our inside of the card. And I had an extra die cut. We could do the same thing with this one. You could just color it and put that right in there. Let me just make the edges really dark. Okay. And then we need that green one, which went somewhere. That's just my plate dropping. No biggie. Here's my green. Let's see if we can just add a little bit of green down here. Just a hint. All right, Sheila's telling me stamp it in coral. That'll give it a nice pop down there, I think. Help to balance that out, I think. I think you're right, Sheila. So now we're just gonna put that on there. I do need a little bit more green though. A little more green. Goes on pretty slick. Another way you could color would be a blending brush. It's really hard with a blending brush though. If you've got some fine detail like this, you got to be really careful. You almost have to pounce more than do anything to get the color on there, because the detail is so fine in here. So many of you know that I go camping every 4th of July, and the 4th of July is on a Friday this year, but the way our camping goes, we're going up on a Sunday and we're coming back on a Friday, so I'll still be able to be here for Friday Night Live. Now, I don't expect a lot of you will be here because you might be off watching fireworks, or I don't know, but you might be having a cookout with friends. But I'll be here, and you can catch the replay if you're not available when I'm live. We'll just stick this down to the inside. That's a pretty inside layer. And then we will, I probably should have done this, this flower in Basic Beige. I probably should have popped it out on Basic Beige just to tie in this tone a little bit more, but live and learn. Let's go ahead and stamp that little hello down here. And we will stamp it right side up. And there we go. There we have a pretty little card. What would make this better? Some gems, of course. We got all sorts to pick from too. I've got some metallic ones, and I've got these neutral matte dots, which have like a Basic Beige tone in them. I think I'll use those. I love about these is that they are very flat. Will not cost anything extra to mail. And we'll take a little one too. And there we go. There is our, oop, I didn't put this on the inside. I got to adhere it down. So it's a pretty quick card, but I really just love this flower and the fern. They would look absolutely gorgeous on a color blended background where maybe you've color blended a sunset look, and then you just die cut these in black. You don't have to color them at all, and put them up against the sunset, stamp a greeting, and you're done. That would look really, really beautiful too. So there's our card. Lots of movement on that because of this. If you want to, I think I want to tack a little bit more of it down. I want some of it freestanding, but I don't want all of it. I don't want it to be too floppy. All right. So we've still got some pieces that stick up. But that is our card for the night. And again, this is Beautiful Motifs. The stamp set has lots of different little sentiments, and this little squiggle can just add a cool texture background, or you can put one of the sayings over it if this is pretty light. It's just really, really pretty bundle. Hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you on Sunday.